The year is 2021, and people are still complaining about the decocker safety on the Beretta 92FS. Generally, these people can be lumped into Group A, people whose hands are too small and have a legitimate reason not to like it, and people whose hands are big enough yet don't know how to use the firearm properly and are just parroting stuff they've heard. The way you use this decocker safety on the Beretta 92FS is with the hammer back. You would, and we are clear, okay, is you bring your thumb up high into a high thumb position as if it's a retention position, okay? You should be practicing this position anyway, bracing against your body as if someone's trying to take the gun from you and you're trying to retain it. Bring it up high, bring your thumb down, and decock the gun. Now that the gun is on safe with the hammer down, if you intend to use the decocker safety as a decocker only, push forward. Let me show you that again. You push down and you push forward. That's all you have to do. If you intend to carry this gun with the safety on, and I don't recommend that, and I don't know very many people who would, what you would do is pretend my hand is a holster. When you draw the gun, simply swipe down and put your thumb in position where you want it. This is where I like my thumb. So that looks like, let me show you that again. That's the same motion as a 1911, okay? If you can deactivate a 1911 safety and you think that's ergonomic, there's no reason to complain about the Beretta 92 safety because it's the exact same motion. This is a spring-loaded freaking safety. It'll pop right back up as soon as you apply some pressure to it. It's the same thing, okay? It just feels different. The safety's not rubbing here. The safety rubs up here, okay? Now, going back to what I said about people whose hands are too small. That is a legitimate reason not to like this, okay? If your thumb only comes to like here and you have to struggle to get it, or you have to shift your grip and pull it down like that, what I would recommend is for you to get the any 92G model or 96G model that is decocker only. So instead of this staying in the down position, when you press it down, it pops back up. Beretta also sells a kit that allows you to convert any FS model to a G model with a decocker. However, the installation's kind of fun. And the reason I recommend that only to people whose hands are too small is because that allows you to use your support hand to hit the safety down, or hit the decocker down, I should say, and then get into a good firing position, at which point this would spring back automatically, okay? If your hands are big enough to use this, the G kit is not really worth the $50 and the installation process, in my opinion. And the reason why I think that is because the F-style decocker safety, you hit it down and you hit it up. Down, up, down, up. That's two motions, okay? With the G kit, or the G, or true G model, you'd hit it down and then you have to get out of the way, okay? So you're not really saving any motion there. You know what I mean? It's going to be about the same. Another way you can tell your hand is too small for the Beretta 92FS is trigger reach, right? If you grip the gun, and this is so there's three types of frames for the 92 regarding the grip angle here. Okay, this is the old school style grip angle. It has the palm swell here, and it has it goes straight on through all the way up to the beaver tail. Okay, newer 92FSs have a slight radius cut in here. It flattens it out here. It gives you a few extra millimeters of trigger reach. Okay, and then there's also the Vertex style, which flattens out this whole area, gets rid of the palm swell, and also has the radius there. Okay, and that'll probably give you the most trigger reach out of any of the frames. So the way you would tell the trigger, or your trigger reach is too far, is if the right edge of the trigger is not sitting comfortably in the first joint of your index finger. Okay, so this is your first joint of your index finger. That's where the right edge of the trigger should be. Okay, and the reason for that is because to control the double action trigger pull effectively, that's where you want it, okay? And anyone that's trained on double action revolvers or trains people on double action revolvers, double action autos, will tell you that. You want to get that trigger in the first joint of your index finger. If it's too far back, remember, you can try the different grips out, maybe go to your local gun store and try it out. Another thing you can do are get short reach triggers. I believe Beretta sells them, Wilson Combat sells them, maybe Langdon Tactical Technology sells them, but they're out there. And what they do is they kind of flatten out this trigger a little bit and gives you a few extra millimeters of trigger reach, right? So that's the remedy for that. Now, if you have the Vertec grip and you have the short reach trigger and you still can't reach it, I mean, the Beretta 92 may not be the gun for you. I'm just going to be honest, okay? Another thing, too, people have trouble reaching the mag release, right, without breaking their grip. There's tons of extended mag releases out there for the Beretta 92. Different styles of them, different manufacturers. There's factory ones, different materials, polymer, steel, aluminum. So that's pretty easy fix. Another thing, too, you can do to improve trigger reach, improve your ability to hit that magazine release is just get really thin grips. I know VZ Grips sells ultra-thin grips, and those come standard on the LTT Elite, actually, and the Wilson Combat guns. So that might help you. I know the Illuma grips are a little bit thinner. If your hands are too big, okay? Now, the way you would tell your hand is too big is if you have too much finger coming through there. If you have too much finger coming through there, what can happen is you don't have as much control on the double action pull, but what will happen is your index finger will impact the frame before the trigger breaks, okay? This is obviously like a crazy example. I don't know anyone that has giant hands like that, but if you have too much trigger through, you can get pinched on the back end of the trigger. You have to pull excessively hard because you're pushing against the frame too now with the tip of your index finger. If your hands are too big, I mean, there's all kinds of crazy Hogue rubber wraparound grips. You have the wood grips you can put on there. For me, standard 92 F style grip, the standard trigger, and the standard grips seems to fit me perfectly. So I guess I'm just lucky like that. Another thing I should say is, now that we know how to use the decocker-safety correctly, next thing people will usually say is, oh, it shouldn't be up there anyways. Why does it have to be up there? The SIGs have them, here. Frickin' CZs have them here. Why does it have to be up there? Well, the reason why it's up there is because this is a different kind of decocker safety than those frame-mounted decockers, okay? Frame-mounted decockers generally only drops the hammer to the half-cock notch, and I'll demonstrate that now with a CZ75, which, by the way, I love CZs. All right, this is probably my third favorite double-action, single-action pistols out there. So we are clear, okay? So this has a decocker, and this is also a really sexy gun. This has a decocker only, and it drops the gun to the half-cock notch, okay? My problem with that is I see that as redundant, because dropping the hammer to the half-cock notch is a basic weapons handling skills for anyone that intends to use a double-action anything. Double-action revolver, double-action handgun, okay? Because it's 100% safe. You put your thumb on the hammer, pull the trigger, release the trigger, this re-engages the firing pin block, and then drop the hammer, okay? And it drops in the half-cock right there. 100% safe. You should know how to do that if you're running a double-action gun. So now I think, well, I'd rather just have the safety there. So that way I have the option of running cocked and locked if I wanted to. You know what I mean? So, okay. With a slide-mounted decocker safety, you don't have that issue. It drops the hammer all the way down 100% of the time safely, because if you look in here, the hammer hits that little shiny ball thing in there. See that? And that is what joins the firing pin and this little plunger together. When you decock a slide-mounted decocker, it pushes that little transfer bar out of the way and then drops the hammer on the slide. Okay. This is a design that goes back to the P38, the Walther PP. It's been used on pretty much every double action, single action gun until like around the 80s, or there were other frame mounted decockers out there, but this was by far the most popular way to decock a gun until recently. And it seems people don't know how to use them anymore. One other thing, the last thing, is I prefer this, and I think you should too, because this is a eminently safe design when it comes to loading the weapon, okay, loading and getting it ready to carry. Because what you can do is put the gun on safe, rack around with the gun on safe. You cannot do that with a frame-mounted decocker or any decocker only. Only with a decocker-safety can you do that, which I think is a benefit, because if there's ever a time for anything to go wrong, it would be after you rack around, your hammer's cocked, there's a round in the chamber, your safety's off. If there's ever a time that anything is going to go wrong, it's right here, okay? And then you decock and you're safe again. So, anyway, thank you for watching. That's my Beretta 92 proper handling video, and why I think the slide mounted decocker is superior, and also, what else did I cover? Oh yeah, how to know if the Beretta 92 fits your hand, and what you can do to remedy it if it doesn't. Alright, check out these pistols. Alright, I'll see you later. Oh shit.